All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm back. Get a little closer. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Can't talk as loud as I usually do in my videos. It's Saturday, and a lot of us don't work on Saturdays. So, my son is home, so he's trying to get his rest in. Plus two, we gotta go to the grocery store, but y'all are not here for that. I wanted to go more into depth about signs and symptoms that we experience when we are going through a shift in spirituality. Okay? I watched that last video. I know y'all might think, oh, she is so not professional. I was doing my best to get you the information that you needed. And as much as I wish my memory serves me well, sometimes it doesn't. I'm in my late 40s, or yeah, I am in my late 40s. That's all y'all need to know. So sometimes I forget, and I don't want to blame it on age, because that is one of the symptoms. Experiencing memory loss, short-term memory, sometimes long periods of memory loss. Simple things you'll forget. Simple things like colors, words. Now, I'm about to get into these signs and symptoms, but what I stated about the memory loss, and I want to mention that a lot of these things that are happening to you is actually prepping you to shift into a new reality, a new dimension. So in order to do that, you have to be cleared of thought patterns, emotional patterns, spiritual influences from the 3D realm, and other influences that go on in the 3D reality that you're used to. So what is going on with all these signs and symptoms is just letting you know that these things are prepping you so that you can shift and flow smoothly over into the other dimension. Now, these things, these symptoms or signs are scaring you. I advise you to go seek medical attention. But in my last video, I stated that a lot of these signs and symptoms, sometimes, or most of the times, when you go to these medical physicians, they run all these tests and can't find anything wrong with you. You go see psyche, and they just gonna label you as crazy and give you medication to make you even more crazy and confuse you. So, let me run this list down, okay? As I stated before, memory. You may have problems with short-term and some long-term memory. And that is actually, you are actually being cleansed or cleared of unwanted memories or things, memories that's not going to be needed once you shift into a new reality. Okay? I mean, because it's basically like leaving the old in the old. You don't need to remember all of that stuff when you shift. It's not necessary. It's basically what Spirit is saying. And when I say spirit, your spirit guides, your true self that's helping you, the contract that you made with your true self remembers, is helping you to transition and shift over into a newer reality. Okay? So, in preparation for this, some people experience traumas. These traumas trigger you into prepping for that reality. And some traumas actually just forces people over into a whole new reality, you know? So just be aware. Try to take note of these things to heart. So we are clear about the memory. Next is sleep pattern changes. And I'm going to give you some remedies as I go along, because these are things that I've had to do to help me balance out my physical, emotional, mental, and spirit states. Okay? So bear with me. So sleep pattern changes, meaning you may not be able to sleep 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours a night anymore. Your sleep patterns might shorten. You may find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and can't go back to sleep. You wonder, why is this happening? Well, a lot of times when I could just, okay, I'm going to give you my experiences with this. I find that those nights when I wake up 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and some of those may include you having frequent urinations or abnormal urinations, of course. When you have these frequent urinations, you know, it's just cleansing. That fluid is coming out, cleansing your body of toxins. So it can be all times of the night. But then you find that you can't go back to sleep. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, and it may not even be the case of you having to go to the restroom. It just might be a case of getting you used to waking up at quiet hours to allow you to reflect. And sometimes when the body or spirit knows that those hours of the night will allow you to be able to receive information from your higher self. For those who don't know what your higher self is, some people call on it if you are religious. And I really don't like talking to religious people, because a lot of religious people be like, oh, that girl got the devil in her. Please don't judge me. If you cannot relate to what I'm saying, then click off. Click off the video. Okay? Alright, because I'm not religious, and I'm not about all that judgment. Okay? This is not my judgment day. Alright? I've been through that hell. Okay, so back to what I was saying before I forget, because, my memory does not always serve me well. But it allows you, around that time, to get meditation in, to connect with spirit. Okay, I'm not talking about spirits wandering around your house, because, they do say that is the hour that spirits roam. Spirits roam all times of the day. It doesn't matter what time of the day. So don't believe that, oh, they're more powerful around that time. But anyway, it's just a more quieter, peaceful time for you to introspect. So spirit may awaken you, your spirit guides, or your spirit may awaken you to allow you that time to introspect. And it's also a good time for you to receive spiritual downloads and messages from your higher self. And your higher self is what connects you to the universe. And when I say to the universe, you got to remember, we are the micro or the macro. So dimensions or realms or levels that we can't physically perceive, our higher selves may perceive for us. Our higher selves or aura stretches out further than what you think, okay? But I'm not going to use all this time to go into that. So you might experience mood swings, roller coasters of emotions. And like I said, you know, that can also include depression. I said that in a video prior to this one, that these mood swings and roller coaster of emotions is just spirit way or your higher self preparing you to release a lot of toxins, past lives and past memories that has hurt you, and that which you need to deal with to release. So you may have memories of the past that was traumatizing or that was very hurtful to you. Okay, Spirit is now telling you to deal with those things so you can release them, because all of that stuff you cannot take with you into the next level, shifting into that new reality. You can't take these emotions, mood swings, or what have you, those toxic emotions with you. So you're advised to deal with those emotions now, even if it means seeking professional help to deal with it. And not to say there are some what you call counselors out there who understand what's going on. You know, I might say metaphysics, new age, you know, that's what they may call it, but you know, it's nothing new under the sun. But there are some people who can help you and guide you through that and be your support system. But let me advise you that you're not looking to lean on someone fully for their support and guidance. What I offer is basically support and guidance, and it's just that. It's not for you to lean on me, but what I am teaching and helping you do is take responsibility for your own healing, because we are all healers, okay? You might experience some hot and cold flashes. Now, this does not mean when you feel these hot flashes, you're going into menopause. Oh, I'm starting menopause. I'm having premenopausal symptoms. You know, yes, I thought the same thing when I started experiencing them back in my late 20s, early 30s. But I was mostly getting these hot flashes under the bottom of my feet. That's when I'm telling you, all my life I've had some weird things go on in my life. But it was only preparing me for this day so that I can come and assist you. And you know, I understand there's so many people out there who teach on things that they have not even experienced. So I am so grateful to be able to say that I truly get you. I can relate to you if you can relate to what I am saying to you from my experience, okay? So these hot and cold flashes is just adjusting. You know, your body is being adjusted, all right? It's trying to balance your body temperature, like I said, just to prep you for what's to come, for that shift, okay? All right. Aches and body pains. Woo, 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 woo. Now, let me explain these aches and body pains. You know, you might experience lower back pain. You might experience a lot of teeth aches. You might experience pain in the neck, in the arms, in the knees, wherever you're experiencing those pains are for you to acknowledge the dis-ease you're holding in that area and why you're holding those issues in that area. You may not understand what you mean, Anita, holding certain issues. When you're not willing to deal with certain things in your life, like I stated, you're going to experience mood swings, and if you don't deal with these traumas or hurts, emotional hurts, then they actually get stuck in certain parts of your body. Look it up. You can go and you can Google spiritual meaning of lower back pains, spiritual meaning of toothaches. It's letting you know that you're holding certain things and not dealing with it, so they get stuck in certain areas. Stress, and it becomes stressful to that area. So maybe I'll eventually make a video that will go into that for those people who don't like to do the research. I'll do the research for you, okay? To help explain certain aches and pains in the body, even headaches, having frequent headaches, okay? Because you got to understand, your brain is being rewired. Your mental, your mental is being rewired, okay? I say okay a lot, don't I? But okay is, you get it? You understand? I hope so. All right, vertigo and dizziness, okay? Well, simply as I stated before, vertigo and dizziness is basically, as you're being fine-tuned and upgraded, you will probably experience vertigo, dizziness. You could even be sitting, and there have been times I just be sitting there and experience dizziness. I could be lying down and experience dizziness. Also, too, I'm going to also, like I stated before, there's certain things to help you deal with what you're experiencing. And it's basically, as you go through a lot of these changes, you're going to have to adjust the way you eat. You're going to have to adjust your lifestyle, institute some activities, lessen some activities, or cut back on some activities. So we'll get into that. We may not get into all of it, but we'll get into that. Heart palpitations. I get this a lot. It's not saying, now, for you people who have heart issues, you might want to go check with your medical practitioner, because don't go on what I'm saying, because I am not here giving you diagnoses and treatments. No. I act as a guide, support, and assistant when it comes to certain matters of spirituality, okay? Not physicality. Get that through your head. I am not a medical expert, all right? This is based around my experience. So I'm basically a coach in this matter, which means, just like a coach, if you have physical injuries, inside or out, consult a professional, medical physician in that case. So now, frequent heart palpitations, if not seriously life-threatening, they're basically opening up the heart chakra. Okay? Why? Well, all of the chakras are actually going through an opening, but the main one, the most powerful chakra, is the heart of love. Okay? So the heart chakra deals with emotional center for love frequency to get in. Okay? So the most powerful magic, the most powerful energy, the most powerful, potent protection on the planet, whether you know it already or not, is unconditional love for all there is and within. Okay? Alright? So that may be happening to you. So, certain practices, rituals you might want to institute is getting more in tune with that part of you, is learning to love thyself through meditation and prayer and gratitudes. All right? I did speak on the frequent urination, just letting you know. It's just to dispel the bodies of certain toxins, and even though you may not like it, it's still good to drink water. I express it, but if you having a high level of water retention in the body, and I don't swear, but I still, it seems like when I drink water, it goes right through me. But of course, it's just flushing out. And I advise those people, when you wake up in the morning, don't reach for something to eat, reach for your jug of water here. Because what it's doing is, just like you bathe your body in the morning, you should bathe your inside with water. I don't advise just drinking water straight from the faucet. And for those who don't have water purifiers, get you one. If you can't afford it, boil it. Put it in the refrigerator. Or let it settle. I like my water room temperature. I don't advise drinking cold water, but to each their own, okay? You might feel more thirsty or lack thereof. Like I said, these spiritual changes that's going on is affecting us physically, okay? So, if you're more thirsty, or if you lack thirst, either way, still make sure you get a sufficient amount of water into your system, even though you're lacking thirst, hungry, or lack thereof. Be sure that you're not putting in junk. But I do say that sometimes your body may crave junk. Give it to it. Not in great amounts, but just to satisfy that craving. Let's say I crave dark chocolate cookie. No, that's not my thing. I crave dark chocolate covered almonds. I might get me 2 or 3 pieces of those dark chocolate almonds. Eat it. Savor it in the mouth just to satisfy. Because what I'm doing is satisfying my craving, not sitting there just constantly eating it. I want to savor it in, I'm not pronouncing this word right, but savoring the flavor to satisfy the craving. Okay? Alright. Skin irritations. Woo, 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 woo. Now, when I say irritations, it may not be irritations where you're always feeling like you have to scratch, but it might always feel like something is touching you, or your skin is crawling, or something is tickling you, okay? You got to understand the closest thing to feeling energy will be the skin. And I got to take that back, because there's little hairs that you don't see, that the energy around you is embracing your body, or your body or hairs, the receptors, because the hairs on our body is just like receptors, antennas. We are sensing energy around us. So you may feel a lot of that, okay? Understand that you're becoming more sensitive, especially if you're experiencing heart palpitations. You're emotionally becoming more sensitive to people's energies. And this is why you're going to find that I'm going to speak on being alone, the feeling of loneliness, okay? Because you're going to find that you're going to need that time alone, away from other people's energy. And you're going to have to fine-tune yourself into your own energy. This is why meditation, prayer, introspection is good. In a place cut off from the world where you can be alone. You see, I'm alone. This room, you don't hear nobody else in here moving around, walking around. My private space. Okay? And as I was stating, loneliness. Why are you going to feel that? Spirit is trying to tell you you need that time alone, just like I stated, to be able to introspect, take in what's going on with you, try to connect with spirit from within. That's why you need time to meditate. Not necessarily sit there like this, because I don't always do that. I do it sometimes. But sometimes I'm just sitting there and just thinking back to what just took place, or things that have taken place, what I'm feeling. Because sometimes I sit and be like paying attention, feeling my body vibrate. And that's another symptom. You might feel subtle vibrations, even to the point where it can be overwhelming and even make you feel overwhelmed, feelings of anxiety. Okay? You might get that too. But it's okay. It's okay. If you need to seek medical attention, do so, to make sure that you are okay, physically and mentally. There may even be times you might think you're going crazy. Okay? Stay calm. Get you some water. If you can't stay calm, I say stay calm because I'm saying just be aware that you're not going crazy. But if you've had these issues in the past of going crazy, go seek out your psychiatric professional, okay? Now, with all of these things happening, if you frequently use drugs or get high, and these things, even when you're not high, when you're smoking cigarettes, when you're drinking, you might want to cut those things out. High dosage of caffeine, because I drink my mocha, and there is teas with caffeine in it. If you find that you're extra sensitive, those things you might cut back on or cut them out completely. Because some people's sensitivity, because there was some times I had to go without drinking my mocha. I love the taste. And I make mine homemade. And that's another thing. You may have to get in the habit of cooking your own food, putting your own vibrations into your own food. Meaning, cooking it yourself. That's your vibration. You cooking it yourself because you know what's going in. You know how you feeling when you cooking it. Okay? Because you got to be careful. If you're becoming more sensitive, you have to be careful of the other energies that's going into your food. Make sure even before you eat, you pray, you bless the food that you eat. Okay? Very important. And I know this is a long video. I didn't expect it to be this long, but hey, I want to make sure you people have a clear clarity of certain changes that has come about in your life and why it has come. For some, it could be that, I don't want to say getting old, because you don't have to get old if you're taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, and what else? Emotionally. You really don't have to get old. Okay. May I continue, please? Are we done? We got that? Good. Thank you. All right. So, what I'm about to explain to you are a list of other things that I have experienced that's outside of my body, yet still connected to my essence. Okay? Things that happen in my environment, that when you become sensitive, because spiritually you're going through these changes and you're becoming more sensitive to other people's energies, just know that there are other energies around you that you're becoming sensitive to. Okay? So let me explain some of my experiences. Not necessarily yours is going to be exactly like mine. Yours may be much, what's the word? See how certain words I don't remember, but you might experience it at a deeper level or stronger frequency than I'm experiencing it. Okay? And just because I'm not experiencing it as strong right now, it's because I, or spirit, may say, take your time bringing these levels of awareness to her attention. Okay? So this is probably why mine isn't as strong as what you may be experiencing. So just know there's different levels with frequencies. Seeing flashes of light, whether one color or different colors. But yes, I started at a smaller frequency of seeing these lights to a much higher level of seeing these lights. So just know that your crown chakra is being activated, as well as other chakras. Now sometimes when these centers open, it affects electricity. So when you walk into a room by yourselves, just so that you won't be afraid, and you notice the flickering of lights, and you know you just bought a new bulb because the other one went out, your energies might be affecting electricity. And it may not be a ghost in the house, okay? Your energy frequency may have gotten to a higher level, to the point where you're blowing out lights, blowing out fuses. Okay? I'm just saying. And I've had that to happen recently. Well, I have it happen frequently too. Hearing things that aren't there. Because the frequency level is being upgraded and updated, and all these other things are going on with you, you might start to hear things like people chattering away. But let me say this, when you hear these things, it's not necessarily going to bother you. Right now you might be like, oh heck no, because I was the same way. But you, at a smaller level, all of this is prepping you. All these things is prepping you for it. So you, at some point, is going to have to accept it. That's why prayer is needed, to have a talk with your higher self and spirit guides, to ask them for that protection, to be able to deal with certain things of the unknown. And let me explain something. You may, if you're a person who like watching horror movies, paranormal movies, you may need to cut that out, because those type of influences, media influences that stimulate the psyche and the emotions, can put you could put you in a mind frame of fear, and you don't want to fear when it comes to meeting either your ancestors who have transitioned to the other side. So let me explain. Horror movies, paranormal movies, anything that put fear in you that the media puts out, sometimes you have to wonder why these things are put out, because these can influence your thinking, put you in a state of fear where you cannot normally interact with other dimensions. Mind you, our ancestors back then didn't have to deal with that, watching movies that put them in fear of the spirit realm. We're spirit beings. Why are we being influenced to be afraid of the spirit realm? A little baby come into this world and they see things in other dimensions that we can't see, and it's no fear for them, and we are having to go through a rebirthing period that's preparing us for that rebirthing period or moment where we can deal with certain levels of frequencies that come to us. All right? I hope I said that in a way where you understand me. If not, put your comment, question down there, or email me. Okay, so we got this hearing things, voices, conversations, someone saying things. It's just that you're becoming more sensitive to other dimensions, and it may not even be something coming to you, saying anything to you. It's just that you may have crossed over into a dimension, heard something, and then crossed right out of it. But sometimes it is okay to hear things, because you want to be able to hear your spirit guides giving you guidance, where you don't need someone like myself to continue to give you information like this. Okay? You want to be able to first start off, like I said, being prepared. You might get intuitive information that's being downloaded to you through your dreams, through visions, through your imagination and meditation. However, Spirit wants you to receive it. Okay, seeing quick flashes of images. I'll go into that more, but that's also coming. That also deal with downloads, getting images. Okay? Experiencing telepathy. If you don't know what telepathy is, that is sending out thought messages and another person receiving them, and you wondering why. Oh, girl, I was just thinking about you. You calling me. Or bumping into the person who's just thinking about. Or just having a thought about something and it appears. Okay? So these things that I'm explaining to you now is just connecting to your higher senses. If you don't know, if you haven't, once you go through the signs and symptoms physically, mentally, emotionally, which is preparing you to tap into your higher senses. So this is what I'm explaining. You've been tapped into, or you are now sensing the higher senses within you and around you. Clairvoyance, having memories of past lives, and you may not know that you're having images or memories of past lives or things to come. But just write them down and do your research. Even go to those who have experience in those areas to explain them more to you. Clairaudio, like I stated, you'll be able to hear things from other dimensions, other voices or what have you, but also you might even experience high-pitched sounds or beats. Sometimes these high-pitched sounds are like your spirit guides or spirit beings, good spirit beings, scanning you for illnesses to make sure you're still clear. So it might be a good thing to hear those beats and high-pitched sounds to let you know that you're clear. If you haven't heard those high pitches in a long period of time, you might want to check yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally to make sure you're toxin free. Okay? So this is why taking care of yourself physically, exercise, meditation, yoga, stretching, tai chi, resting is good for the body. Okay? You want to be in balance, total balance, harmony with your body, your mind, your soul, spirit, and emotions. Okay? You might experience smells that aren't there. Again, you know what that is. There are certain senses that's coming to you to help remind you or bring certain memories to you. And sometimes these memories are brought to you, whether they're good or bad. Some of the good memories are for you to tap into and utilize and remember those memories. And certain memories are brought to you to deal with. Okay? Whether they smell good or stink, deal with it. Because it's all connected. And I just stated clashing with other dimensions. Now, what I mean by that, as you're shifting into other realities, and I'm getting to experience this a lot, it may not just be my energies entering into a room, and which causes the television coming on, or I'm lying down and this right here starts to spin. It doesn't spin. I've experienced it just recently, experiencing in the opposite direction from when I turn it on. But yes, there might be some good energies, essences or beings that pick up on your energies. Now, I don't want to tell you it might be all good energies, because all good energies can't attract opposite energies. That's why it's good to be prayed up and ask for protection and find certain talismans to be used to protect yourself. What are talismans? talismans, might be objects that have been prayed over that offer up protection from unseen things and energies. Okay? And lastly, maybe not least, because I might bring up some more stuff that I've experienced to help give you guidance in how you're dealing in your daily life with the changes that's going on with you spiritually. But here it is. Receiving downloads of information. And you might just be sitting, introspecting, and then just have a thought like, Sometimes you could be used as a vessel for information to be channeled through. So this information is coming through you. Write them down. And after you write them down, do your research. Even if you cannot find it on the internet, write it down anyway. Because your spirit guides or your higher self may allow you to physically, tangibly experience what you've been downloaded with. Okay? So I hope this has I hope this has helped some and not hurt anyone. And I know you may be thinking, because there have been times, even in my depressed state, where I'm crying like, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of dealing with this. Let me tell you something. When you're going through those emotions, let them out. Let it out. Release it. Because the body, through tears, release chemicals, which is allowing you to release those things. But just know that your mind is powerful too. So if you allow yourself to keep recalling these events to your memory that keeps you in a depressed state, remember, it's you that's allowing those thoughts to keep coming back. So at some point, I have done it. I kept recalling these thoughts and calling these thoughts to the point where I exhausted them thoughts. I'm like, okay, I'm sick and tired of thinking about this. Woo, 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 woo. I'm done. I'm done with you, thought. All right, be gone. And let it be gone. You're going to also find yourself doing a lot of researching, wanting to know more, so that you can really prepare yourself and ready yourself for your mission. So all of this is taking place to prepare you for your mission, whether that mission is to love unconditionally, whether that mission is just to shift you into a new reality to live a happy life. Just know it's needed. And not everyone who experiences this can handle it. For some people, it is so traumatic that it brings about death. And don't think death is a bad thing. It's just some people are meant to live and shift over in spirit form and not take their physical form with them. Okay? So I'm going to leave information for you if you want my guidance, support, and assistance to help you with your transitioning or your awakening or whatever path you're on spiritually. I am willing to assist. And I don't know it all. But whatever comes through me and it agrees with your soul and you can relate to it, I thank you for embracing my presence to bring you my help. And until then, people, Stay blessed.